thing that I want to show you guys before I do this actual capture technique is I want to show you guys what's the most dangerous part of an alligator. What's the most dangerous thing about alligator wrestling? That's exactly right. It's that mouth. I'm going to move this guy out of my way so I can get my buddy here to help us out. He's backing up a little further. Okay. So, I can use my buddy here, Blackie. So, like I said, guys, the most dangerous part of this alligator is that mouth. Not only is that mouth big and scary, filled with sharp teeth, but they also have terrible breath. But what really makes it dangerous is the way that an alligator's mouth works. When his mouth is open like this, the entire inside of his mouth is lined with very, very sensitive nerves. So anything that touches on the inside of that mouth causes it to shut violently. So it makes for a good rule, which is generally whatever goes in the mouth of an alligator tends to stay in the mouth of an alligator. But I want to break that rule for you guys today to demonstrate a couple of different things. Number one is that I'm playing a dangerous and serious game in here. And number two, the whole basis of alligator wrestling, how it really works, is by taking advantage of some of the physical disadvantages that these animals have. All these alligators outweigh me by at least 100 pounds. They're a lot bigger and stronger than I am. So in order for me to capture one by myself, I need to take advantage of some of their disadvantages. An important one of these is that they have a couple of blind spots. And one of those blind spots happens to be right there. Technically, that alligator can't see me doing that. And as long as I'm careful and I don't touch anything, I'm relatively safe. But let's say I do make a mistake and I do happen to touch on the inside of that mouth. Things can go very wrong very quickly. I got a few of you with that one. Who's nervous?
I am.
So, now that we've done that, I'm going to try and actually capture the alligator for you guys.
We have a volunteer.
Right? I might need some help in a minute, we'll see. So, there's a couple of different ways to capture an alligator. The one that I'm going to do today is what we call a frontal capture, where I'm going to take advantage of that blind spot, and I'm going to lift his head up here, very gently, and then I'm going to secure those jaws. Come on, buddy. Now, woo, that's a big, strong animal, guys. So, now, I'm going to cover up the eyes, and I captured an alligator. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, now I've captured the alligator. I've secured the jaws. What do I do now? Right. I can't exactly take him home like this. So, I need to tie those jaws shut with a rope or a leather strap that I brought with me so that I can safely take him home. But what do you need to tie a good strong knot in a rope or a strap? 2 hands. That's exactly right. So, I'm going to need a volunteer.
Right here.
Come on down, bud. I'm just kidding. I am just kidding. Believe me, I would love some help in here.
Oh, he's running.
But I'm pretty sure that's illegal. So, remember guys also, the Seminole man would have been out there by himself, so they came up with a technique that we call bulldogging, where basically, to free up my hands, I'm going to use my chest and my chin to hold that mouth shut long enough that I can tie it shut with that leather strap that I mentioned. That looks something like this. Kiss for good luck. Hold still, then. Here we go. Thank you guys very, very much. Tie my leather strap. Relatively safe alligator. I can take it home to my mother-in-law. So guys, that's how alligator wrestling began. As a means for these Seminole and Miccosukee men to provide food for their families is really the only aspect of alligator wrestling that hasn't changed. Whereas I'm obviously not Seminole or Miccosukee, and I'm definitely not going to kill and eat any of these alligators. Whatever you guys very, very kindly and generously leave as tips in these white buckets that you see is what I bring home to my family. Like I said before, I'm a volunteer. That means that I do not, and I technically cannot be paid for doing this. That's because workman's compensation tends to frown on people sitting on the backs of large alligators. That's the actual truth of it. You guys wouldn't insure me, would you? So, for these, that's how alligator wrestling began. So, now, these Seminole Miccosukee men had changed from this hunting technique into a show like you see today. Around the 30s and 40s, tourism became very popular here in Florida. Built what's known as the Tamiami Trail. It's a highway that runs from Tampa to Miami, bordered all alongside by the Everglades. Tourists would take the road. They'd happen upon a Seminole man sitting on an alligator like this, pull over, ask questions, take pictures, maybe throw a little bit of money for gratitude. Concept born. Instead of using these guys just for food, we'll build the village, we'll show people alligator wrestling, sell some handmade wares, gain revenue for their families that way. But once these men started doing these shows, it didn't take them long to realize that the crazier the trick they did, the more money people tended to give them. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and stick my face in there. I love that groan every time. Is everybody ready?
No.
50-50, guys, I get it. Those of you out there that said no, that is the correct answer. Those of you who said yes are my kind of people. All right, here we go. I'm just kidding. If I did that now, how would I end the show? Hold still, bud. Okay. I do, though, have a couple of actual tricks to show you guys. We call this first one the Florida Smile. Take a look at those pearly whites. That's 40 on top, 40 on bottom. 80 very, very good reasons for me to not be where I am right now. Like a shark, these guys can go through 3,000 teeth in a lifetime. When one breaks off, another will go back to replace it in about 6 or 8 weeks. That way they have a lifetime supply of very, very sharp teeth to capture their prey and hopefully not injure unsuspecting alligator wrestlers. Now, this next trick was originally named the close shave. That's really for when it goes well. When it goes poorly, it's been sort of nicknamed face off. Let's all hope it goes well. All right. Thank you. Wow, thank you. That was scary. Hold still, bud. We're almost done. Let's not go in the water. Okay, so, thank you. All right, so, I got one last trick to show you guys. But before I do it, I want to make absolutely sure that you guys want to see it. And by that I mean I want to hear a whole lot of cheering when I say, who wants to see the last trick? Pretty good, pretty good. All right, here we go. This is the last trick. This is the one that I didn't do before. My face is really going in there this time. Get your cameras ready. I really only want to do this once. Hopefully everything goes well. Everybody gets to go home with a very cool picture. If not, you go home with a much better picture. By the way, this trick was named by my wife and kids. Please don't do that anymore. I'm not a very good listener. All right, here we go.